Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful day or you've had a wonderful day. Please, if this is for first time of stopping by my channel, please do subscribe, like, share, click the notification button so when we're on, you will be notified. This is a story that just take your breath away. You just know that this person was meant to be alive. This person was meant to fulfill a purpose yet not fulfilled. This person was loved by God. I mean, it's amazing that she's still alive. You know, she was driving a semi-truck and then the truck just went over the bridge and oh my word, even words cannot explain, looking at the truck that she made it alive. She made it alive. Under her was the river, Ohio River. Here she was hanging on it. Oh my God. I'm going to play for you to say, let me know what you think.
It has been nearly 3 months since we all witnessed this scene. We were all praying for the driver in that semi and her rescuers, hanging on every second. And hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Doug Prophet. And now you're going to meet her for the very first time. She's telling her story in this WHAS 11 News exclusive interview. It's the miracle on the 2nd Street Bridge. The driver of that semi that hung over the Ohio River for a scary 40 minutes, suspended, not knowing if that truck would give way any time. I sat down with Sydney Thomas just this week for her very first interview, joined by WHAS 11 journalist Shirlene Shanklin and photojournalists Philip Merle and Paul Dunsford. With her okay, we met back overlooking where the world watched it all happen. This is a big moment for you.
Mm-hmm. This is the closest I've been to it, but...
Since March 1st?
Mm-hmm.
Healing and coming to grips with a true miracle. 26-year-old Sydney Thomas told me that just looking at the 2nd Street Bridge again is a major part of how she's moving forward.
Now I'm starting to, heal.
Because she knows why she is still here today.
Sometimes you pray, and I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I pray and I don't think God is listening. But he was that day.
Nearly 3 months after she and her semi dangled right off the side of that bridge, she will return to work for Cisco on June 1st.
Is that the first time you've seen it since the accident?
This close, yeah. I don't know. I just, it is kind of hard to look at, but I mean, I'm not there. I'm here.
It was Friday, March 1st at noon. She says she was behind schedule.
It happened, and it happened so fast.
To get to a delivery on time, she took her company's approved direct route in her semi, the 2nd Street Bridge.
A pickup truck in the 2 southbound lanes, he crossed over into the northbound lane, and then he hit me, and once he hit me, he took my suspension out, which meant that I can't, it didn't matter which way I turned the wheel. The truck was going to go whatever direction it wanted to go in. I felt myself veering off to the left, and then I saw myself going over the railing, and I was like, well, this is it.
You knew you were going over the railing?
I did. Well, not immediately after the impact, but I say like 2 seconds later. I held on to the wheel, and once he hit, because I couldn't swerve into the other lane. That's what they tell you when you learn how to drive a truck. You just keep going straight. It don't matter, because if you go in to turn off, you can make it worse than if you just take it head on. And so I did that.
The next few moments would become the event viewed live by people around the world.
When I went through the railing, I was like, I was just thinking like, wow, this is crazy to die like this, and I really thought that I was about to die. And I was like, well, I can try to hurry up and take the seatbelt off and jump out of the truck if I have enough time to.
You were thinking this?
When I felt myself going over, I'm like, I'm gonna have to jump. I can't swim either. I didn't know how bad it was. I thought that the trailer was still on the bridge. I didn't know that it was like this.
And the clock started ticking. Would the semi hold?
When it caught the bridge, I froze. But I was thinking of an exit plan if it was even possible. If it starts going, you're gonna have to move fast. You're gonna have to unbuckle that seatbelt and open that door and jump out, because if not, you're gonna drown. I would rather drown trying to swim than be submerged underneath the water and not be able to get out.
Now, for the first time, we're also learning that a man, another driver on the bridge, leaned over the side of it and started shouting down to Sydney, keeping her calm.
And I just looked up and I saw people coming towards, the railing, and they was, talking to me. And it was one man, he stayed with me the whole time and talked to me until the firefighters came.
But inside the truck cab, all alone, it was a much different story.
It's like sitting like this, but the river is right in front of you. And that's what I saw. Yeah.
She told me her military training kicked in, and that reassuring voice from above on the bridge continued.
I have to be still, because if I move an inch, the truck might shift and fall over. I started praying, and, I kept asking the person I was talking to, how long is it going to be? Are they on the way? And he kept saying, they on the way, they coming.
When you say you were still and frozen, what do you mean by that?
I had my hand on the steering wheel, gripped on it, and I just was trying to, I had my foot on the brake too. And I sat like that for a long time.
40 minutes?
Yep. I was trying to just stay calm and just hope and pray that they would be able to get me out, because I didn't think they would be able to.
As the scene was broadcast worldwide, her co-workers started calling Sydney's cell phone, which had been thrown right to the floor.
Did they think you would answer?
I guess so. I guess if, they call it, I guess they thought that I was going to be fidgeting around in the truck, and I'm like, no.
She waited for her rescuers.
I was like, I can't believe this, that I'm really hanging over the river. And I was in shock. I was like, this is crazy.
Suddenly, Louisville firefighter Bryce Carden appeared, suspended in the air next to her window.
He was like, are you a praying woman? And I was like, yep. And we just started praying.
And their prayers together?
I got what I prayed for, and somebody came and got me out of the truck. We were praying, just to get back on the ground and out of harm's way.
One scary moment that stunned both of them was when, after 40 minutes, she finally took her foot off the air brakes. They let out a loud bang.
He was trying to make sure I stayed calm and I didn't start doing anything that could compromise our safety. He was telling me, it's only going to be a little bit longer,
And then the rescue. There was no open door.
He pulled me through the window. They lowered him down. He gave me the harness. I put the harness on, but I still had my seatbelt on. So he had to cut me out of my seatbelt.
Finally, in the embrace of Bryce, the scene we all watched so closely, the slow rise back to the 2nd Street Bridge.
I knew I wasn't going to fall out, but it was just terrifying to be that high up in the air and look down, and all you see is the Ohio River. It was hard. So I tried to keep my head up and not look down.
And then the moment.
I just kept crying out to God, please, Lord, just give me another chance.
The moment her feet touched that bridge.
One of the first things I said to them when I got on the bridge was, did anybody die? Even me knowing that this wasn't my fault, I still don't want that on my mind that I was involved in an accident where somebody passed away.
She has since reunited to thank Bryce, who has said publicly many times Sydney's ability to keep it together helped him make a quick exit with her.
He is a really kind person, and I'm very and brave. I wouldn't have been able to go rappel down off of a bridge I wouldn't be able to do that. I admire him a lot, and, I appreciate him. Him and his wife are very kind people.
Back to work June 1st, well, she'll ease into it, calling Cisco her extended family.
What do you think about driving across bridges these days?
As long as it ain't that one, as long as I got enough lanes to move around in and I'm not limited to 2 very narrow lanes, as long as I get across, I'm good.
Walking with her, overlooking the place where she stared down death, it's clear Sydney Thomas has no doubts about what made the miracle on the 2nd Street Bridge.
I have my moments, but God has me here for a reason. and I have to fulfill my purpose. I can't let something like that stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do for him, because he brought me out of it, you know, and he doesn't want me to just live in fear the rest of my life. And I know that.
She is truly remarkable. I do want to say, you know, sometimes in life you do meet people who put our lives in perspective in this big world, and Sydney did that for me, and I hope that's your takeaway from our interview tonight. We do want to let you know that Sydney's story does not stop here at 6 o'clock. Coming up all new on the WHAS 11 night team, her surprising message for the driver, Trevor Branham, who police say caused the crash. You're also going to meet her dad, Mark, her rock. He's an 18-year semi-truck driver. He actually saw the semi hanging over the bridge as he was crossing the Kennedy. And then she is able to laugh at some things like what happened when an Uber driver recently picked her up and was heading right to the 2nd Street Bridge.